Zucker, swim dodge, fires and scores! Skipping a step, behind the back! Pass, the extra look, and the goal! Shot on goal and good!
Thank you for joining us at Southside High School for some Nassau County playoff action. The Cyclones are looking for a repeat after reaching their first county championship game in school history a year ago. Plainedge, led by Penn State commit Emma Kelly, looks for a little revenge after losing to Southside just 2 weeks ago. A spot in the Class C semifinals on the line right now on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Hi, everyone. I'm Gavin Shaw alongside the Hall of Fame former Farmingdale head coach Tracy Weiner. And Tracy, this is a game with monumental implications. Both these programs trying to take that next step. What's your feel for what we're going to see today?
Well, you have two different feels here. One is, Southside trying to get back to that championship game. So they've already set the bar for themselves last year. And for Plainedge, they jumped out to that early lead the first time they played Southside. Got a couple of yellow cards there, and it kind of changed the tone of the game. So for them, this is more of a revenge factor to try to show Southside, hey, we had you the first time. We let it slip away. We're not going to do that again today.
A game where Plainedge went up 4-0, and then a yellow card cost the Red Devils dearly. Southside ripped off a couple of goals, and it was all but over. Let's take a look at the wider bracket in Class C so we have a gauge of what's on the line today. The winner of this game will most likely take on a Wantagh program that has a whole lot of firepower, and then we're likely looking at Manhasset and North Shore on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, and that's the way it's supposed to play out, right? Good for Locust Valley, for them getting this far. It's going to be great for them when they play Wantagh. But again, for me, Plainedge Southside, this is a 4-5 game. These seeds are playing out exactly the way they should. Everything looks like it's set for that Final Four. But again, that 4-5 game can always go either way.
So a tall task for Southside to get back to that championship game, and the first step is today, where they'll have to deal with Plainedge star Emma Kelly, who has just been spectacular her senior season. 67 points, 60 goals, 7 assists. She is a high-level competitor, also reached the Long Island Championship as a star in basketball, the playoffs in soccer. Just one of those great all-around athletes, Tracy.
Yeah, and for a high school coach, when you have a kid like Emma Kelly, you just feel blessed for the 4 years that she's with you. She's an all-around athlete, understands all the games, and in a day like today, she knows that midfield play is going to be huge because it's all about draw control and it's all about ball control.
Had 5 of the 9 goals the first time these two teams matched up, and the superstar on the other side of things for the Cyclones is, of course, Emily Icabellis, a Cornell commit, a monster season scoring the ball. Not on there. She's 40 for 42 on the year on draw controls. Could be a factor if Robert DeVell tries to go that direction with her.
Without a doubt. And he'll feel it out and see what he has to do. I'm sure she's very powerful for Coach Devlin on the circle as well. So what needs to happen here is we'll see Icabellis is going to probably tell him, hey, I need to take the draws now. I need to do this. She is that type of player where she's going to know where she is most valuable. She has no ego at all. So whether she takes the draw or whether she wins the draws on the 50-50, she's going to do whatever gets Southside moving forward into the playoffs.
Has a really powerful shot as well, and she'll have to contend with a deep Plainedge starting lineup. It's not just Emma Kelly. It is also Julia Fabiano, also the star point guard on the basketball team, who brings a lot of balance. Reagan Mora, Jessica Hagmeyer, and Hannah Wise rounding out that attacking group. Megan Gallo, Leah Valeri, and Carrie Sfraka also on the midfield. Then Jenna Valone, Brenda Groff, Kyle Dundon, Ryan Cass in goal. Who else in that lineup for Carly Tustin stands out to you, Tracy?
Well, you know what? There's several of them as the season goes on, and you know that. You never know who's going to be the one that steps up. But for me, when you look at this lineup, it's going to be the more mature athletes. It's going to be not her younger players, but it is going to be the ones that have been here before and understand that they don't want today to be their last game, or, they want to always play harder for the seniors.
Julia Fabiano, the junior, who has a lot of experience on varsity, coming off a huge 5-goal, 5-assist game in the opening round of the playoffs against Mineola. Then for the Southside team, that, again, lost quite a bit of talent last year. Ellie Delmont ended up at Quinnipiac. Sydney Rathjen ended up on Brown. Robert Devlin, has just reloaded for the Cyclones, and there are a lot of younger players stepping up in this starting lineup. Mia Delmond, a younger sister of Ella, Avery Testa,
Yes.
Maeve Laurie, Caitlin Haggerty. We already told you about Ika Bellis, Charlotte Rathjen, Annie Madden, Sierra Giannone, Emma Madden, Morgan Harloff, and Sienna Conley. They formed quite a deep group for this Southside team that has competed against a lot of high-level competition this year, losing close games to Garden City, Wantagh, and North Shore, all within 3 goals.
Exactly. And when you look at this roster, it's filled with a lot of juniors and seniors. This is that type of year where Coach knows they're getting close to that now or never time for this group. Obviously, you have some juniors that will be back next year, but it is a senior-laden group that understands what it takes and understands what it means to be in playoff season. And
how much pressure is that on you as a coach when you have a team that can win, you have something of a golden generation?
Correct. It's not just the pressure. It's just that you want these kids to achieve so badly. You've had them for so many years. You know how hard they work. You know what it means to them. So when we talk about the pressure, it's more about not so much, the X's and O's pressure. It's just the wanting so badly for this group of your players that you have grown so close to graduate with a championship, holding the hardware. There's no better feeling.
Southside, Plainedge, both trying to get there. We'll take a break on the Varsity Media Sports Network. When we come back, the opening draw control spot in the semifinals on the line next.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
About to get underway, Southside Plainedge spot in the Nassau County semifinals on the line. Tracy, you were talking to me pregame a little bit. You were saying, I mean, you know this from your long time at Farmingdale, but
Yes.
just no better time of year.
No, this is what you play for. And I say to the girls all the time when I coached, look, we could have the best season in the world. You could be undefeated going all the way through, and then you lose in the playoffs, and it feels like an empty season, whereas you could be let's say 6-4 going into the playoffs, and all of a sudden you get on this run, and before you know it, you're county champions, and it's the best season in the history of your program. So it's all about, for me, who holds the hardware at the end. And in high school, I'm not going to lie, a lot of it has to do with coaching, a lot of it has to do with scouting, and a lot of it has to do with the players understanding the commitment, especially this time of year when so much else is going on in school.
And to your point, Plainedge, they made the decision to play in Conference 1 this year with the playoffs in mind. I mean, you talk to Carly Tustin, you talk to Rob Shaver, their assistant coach, and they'll tell you, look, we could have stayed in Conference 2, we could have had a monster season, and we could have gotten knocked out in the first round. They made the decision to play better competition. They went 1-6 in that conference. They really struggled, but it was for these types of games and for this time of year.
I never begged out of the Power Conference ever. I could have the best team on the island, or I could have one of a year that I was rebuilding, and I never cared. For me, it was, in order to be the best, you must play the best. And if you want to show your team, how good they are or where they need to get to, that doesn't happen when you don't play the best teams on the island. When you're going up against the Garden Cities, the Manhassets, the Cold Spring Harbors, the Wantaws, the North Shores, when you play all those schools day in and day out, you understand where your program stands and where you still have to go.
It'll be Emma Kelly against Charlotte Rathjen in the draw control circle to start things off. Kelly got 12 draw control wins last time out against Mineola. Rathjen at just 27% on the season, though the freshman has been spectacular in other areas with 26 points. It is Plainedge in black, Southside in white, and we are going to go again to start off on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Yes. I don't know if the officials ever appreciate that. That's a little anticlimactic when we're opening the game.
Yeah, well, it's so interesting because in college when you do that, now it's alternate possession. They don't ever redraw anymore. And, you'll hear me talk about this often, how it's a sin that we don't play the college rules. But we don't just yet, so we'll just go with it here.
Skimmed high on the draw control, battled out to the perimeter, and it'll be Plainedge ball, or excuse me, Southside ball to start things off.
Correct. It's off the stick of Hudson, so the ball went to Southside.
Avery Testo will start off the offense for the Cyclones. The sophomore, 33 points, 32 goals on the season.
For a sophomore, right? Can you ask for better than that in the Power League?
No, she's been excellent, and Southside has slowly but surely found their rhythm as the season has gone on, as Rathjen dumps it off. Ike Bellis dunking in and out of traffic. Earlier in the year, a lot of players were the term from Robert Devlin was everyone thought they were open at the same time and were running to the same spots, colliding into each other. They figured that out. They made it a little bit more systemic, and they found a really good rhythm peaking against Sacred Heart in terms of their offensive production heading into the playoffs.
Which is really nice. When we're just at the point now where, you need to...
Madden on the dump off, and Ike Bellis couldn't handle it.
Well, you need to understand that these girls have basically not played in front of the crowds and consistently, whatever. This is the first time in almost, 2 years, year and a half. So
Testa's applying some pressure. Good patience from Southside in the early going, drawing out this opening possession.
And it's good. They're taking their time. And again, unlike college sports, there is no shot clock in high school sports.
Much to your chagrin,
Correct.
As I'm aware, and everyone soon will be.
Everybody already is.
Couple of moves put on. Straight to the cage. What a run and an opening goal to start this game. Mia Delmont, her 16th on the season, and the Quinnipiac commit has Southside up by 1.
Mia does a nice job here, being patient, doing the crease roll. There was no second slide from the Plainedge defense on this, which allows Mia. You see right here, she's just in a one-on-one, and there's no slide, and the help goes down low instead of coming up high. And so really, you leave your goalie hanging when you do that. And she's a lefty, so that's her strong side of the field when she rolls crease.
You see Delmont playing with that helmet. She suffered a concussion earlier in the year. She's only played 8 games this season, but the senior is a fantastic talent. And Robert Devlin noting that their season could have been completely different if she had stayed healthy, but she's it's almost like a mid-season trade getting her back right around playoff time.
Well, which is fine. I mean, you get her back, period. And that's really all that matters. Again, nobody's really going to be concerned about playing in the beginning of the year. As long as you make the playoffs now and that she makes an impact this time of year, that's all you can ask for.
Big time scramble for the ground ball, and the offense will start off in the stick of Emma Kelly, who's very aggressive, will put on a run and will be denied by Mackenzie Cray.
That was a great save. Emma Kelly does a great speed dodge getting to the middle. Hands were free, but a better save.
Emma Kelly, such an aggressive player, not afraid to go to goal regardless of the numbers against her. Getting a pretty good look to open this game.
Well, if you're going to play at the next level, you have to play with no fear. It just doesn't work any other way at the college level.
And Kelly on the clearance this time around. Again, she is headed to Penn State, plays for Team Elevate in travel. Talking to her dad, Kevin, throughout the week, he noted that her coaches have done such a good job pushing her game to its limits, and she's really maxed herself out as a player heading to the next level.
Absolutely. And when you go to play at a place like Penn State, the competition just amongst your own teammates is huge, much less when you get on the field.
So free position, a fake, and a shot and a save by Cray. Oh, no, it was in. Big-time finish. Looked like Leah Villari. We'll wait to confirm that for you. Excuse me, it's Reagan Mora on the goal for Plainedge.
And Reagan does a great job here, and she's a strong kid. I know her very, very, very well. And you'll see here, she goes to pass, makes that fake, gets the defender to freeze. Once she does that, and she sees that open space, and her hands are wide open the whole time. And again, Reagan's also a lefty on that side. That's her strong side. She's going to take it to the hole. Beating
Mackenzie Cray, who's been about as good as any goalie in Class C this year. 131 saves on the season, heading to Holy Cross, but Mora got the better of that matchup this time around.
And you can't really blame the defender on that. I mean, I think that Reagan did a great job of freezing the defender between the two of them. She could have either, the defender could have drawn to Reagan and she could have dumped it, or once the defender froze, she took it herself.
Rapchin again on the draw control, able to send it out, and it'll be Plainedge ball once again.
Too soon off the circle with Southside.
Kelly accelerating up the field, and that will slow things down.
And both of these defenses look to be playing just straight up D. There's no zones, just man-to-man.
Fabiano coming off a huge game, 10 points, 5 goals, 5 assists against Mineola. Using a screen. It's a big part of the offense for Carly Tustin. Fabiano really battling, and now we'll have free position.
A little too aggressive on the defensive ride there.
Fabiano on the season, 59 points, 27 goals, 32 assists.
It's a nice spot here.
We'll go cross field, and the net was open, but the shot was off the mark from Megan Callow.
And that's a shame, because that was just such an unselfish, perfectly set up play, and just did not, was not able to finish.
Fabiano teaming with Kelly as the star point guard on Plainedge's Nassau County Championship basketball team. Has that instinct to move the ball, get everyone involved. And she'll work for Max. Couple of dodges, a couple fakes, and we'll dunk it in. Julia Fabiano on the board, and a good start for the Red Devils.
That was a nice play by Fabiano right there. And again, being patient, they seem to have, in the scouting report, maybe that weak side on the crease, because both goals so far has come from this side of the field. And again, the defender bites. And we look at this play, and like I said, we talk about the college game. In college, a defender's allowed to go through the crease. So she would not have had to make that move where she vacates her attacker in the college level. Makes a huge difference. But in high school, how smart to understand that. So Fabiano knows that. As soon as she gets her to commit to the other side, she comes around.
Fabiano committed to St. Bonaventure, but still has one more season playing under Carly Tustin after this one. Again, she has just been a revelation as a junior playing off of Emma Kelly.
Well, it takes the pressure off. It's all about matchups in high school, and obviously Kelly's going to, garner the top defender, and then you work it from there on in. Who has the second best defender, the third best defender, and so on and so forth.
Rathjen has done a good job holding up against Kelly. Again, on the year, Rathjen just 40 of 147, but has gotten better and better as the year has gone on. As a freshman playing in the Power Conference, a tall task taking the draw control, and she can't win it this time. It's Emily Icabellis charging the other direction for Southside.
Icabellis, that's a big draw control right there for Southside. Let's see if they can convert.
Maeve Laurie nearly lost it, and it was knocked again by Jenna Vallone. Defensively, And Plainedge will come up with the turnover. And now right back, the good ride from Southside to regain possession.
Yep, Sienna Connolly, what great anticipation on that play. But then unfortunately they turned it back over.
The pass too tall for Mia Delmond.
This is nerves right here. You got to get the nerves out. Shake them out, ladies.
How do you calm your team down in a playoff situation like this, especially when you have a younger group?
You just hope and pray sometimes that they get through the first 5 to 7 minutes and keep the score close.
Ratchin up the field to Annie Madden. Annie Madden looking for an angle, can't find one. Well covered by Kyla Dundon, but not for long. The goal, and we're all tied up at 2 apiece. Looked like Caitlin Haggerty on the rip.
You know what? That's just such a smart play. So here, you're coming down. Are you going to take the shot? Am I not going to take the shot? Let me not, because the defender's on me, and instead you keep your head up and find the wide open mate. And she does you the favor and says, thank you so much, while she buries it in the cage.
Haggerty, her 18th goal on the season, 34th point. And a quick start offensively for both these sides. If the nerves are on the attacker's end, we haven't seen it so far.
Not yet.
Assisted by number 15, Annie Madden.
You don't win in the playoffs unless you play unselfish lacrosse. And Madden that was just such an unselfish, smart play.
Draw control chopped up again. Southside, the victors. Annie Madden trying to beat the ride, double teamed. And Madden will earn free position. Or at least a restart.
Yeah, the defenders need to be a little further away right there.
Just a sea of black surrounding Annie Madden.
Yeah, she should probably look to get rid of this ball.
Robert Devlin describes her as the Energizer Bunny for the team, just constantly running the length of the field. Likes to take it herself on the crease, but now pushes it up to Delmond. Delmond working middle, spinning back, nothing doing, dispossessed. Delmond able to recover.
Nice recovery. Keeps possession with her team.
Southside, of course, without the services of Maddie Long, who has missed the majority of the last 2 seasons. One with the torn ACL this year, played 2 games and tore her Achilles. Long heading to Pittsburgh was expected to be a big part of this offense, and as the season has gone on, they found a rhythm without her. As that pass too tall for Delmond, and Plainedge will have the clearance led by Ryan Cass, their star goaltender.
It's so frustrating, and the way that Plainedge is going to be able to stay in this game is if Southside does not, what's the word I'm looking for? When possession of the ball, you need to make sure that you're careful and smart when you possess the ball. The quick turnovers or whatever during the season, okay, I get all that. When you're in the playoffs, it's all about mistake-free lacrosse.
And it's interesting because we saw Southside be so careful that opening possession, but since then have had a couple of sloppy turnovers.
Yeah, most definitely. You have to be fundamentally sound in the playoffs to really win.
Kelly double team, throws it away. Excuse me, it was Callow throwing it away. Now fight along that end line. Chopped up. And Plainedge will hold on to it. Callow a little too much on that pass. Good recovery by Leah Villari, who is getting the start today. Couple of fakes put on by Mora. Southside plays some real in-your-face defense.
They're very, very super aggressive. You see they come out high, they chase you. There's no breathing room. Girls traditionally don't like people in their personal space, so...
Villari able to turn the corner, though, but can't get off a look.
So that's the only problem when you play high aggressive defense, is if the attacker beats you, you're setting your teammates up for obstruction of shooting space.
And it's hard to make those slides, right? Because conversely, you're off the ball, you're right on your man.
Well, when you're so super high, too, the slides come from far away.
Villari spinning and shooting, knocked away by Cray behind the cage. Jump shot off the side of the goal.
Needed one more step to get a little better angle. I understand her rushing that shot, but had she had one more step, she would have given herself more cage to shoot at.
Ratchin a whole lot of speed the other way, trying to go coast to coast. Will dump it off. Tic-tac-toe passing and a whistle stops play.
Yeah, and that's a shame, and I understand the call right there, but the draw and dump was right there, and that's an automatic, would have been a goal right there.
It's almost like a take foul in basketball where you lose some of the rhythm of the play.
Yeah, I mean, it should be play on at that point because now Plainedge is in better defensive position than they were about 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, and you're favoring a team for a foul. Haggerty dunks in, doesn't matter, she got it.
Nope, she stepped in the crease.
It looks like it does matter. Haggerty just a little too far. And so it's no goal. And that essentially choice to take a penalty pays
Right.
off for Plainedge.
Yeah, and again, I know it's a touchy, instant decision by the official on that, and Angela does a great job, so I'm not going to question it, because you don't know, you go to take a shot there and somebody could get hurt, and all calls in girls lacrosse are primarily made out of safety.
Nice job by Straka on the clearance. Another key part of that Nassau County Championship basketball team. It was a pivotal move in the middle of the season by Carly Tustin to move Straka from midfield to defense, or from defense to midfield, really opened up this attack, put a little bit more speed, and she's just one of those girls so good at finding the ball, so good at getting it up the field.
Look, I mean, nice save. You play girls in high school where you need them, and you have somebody like Straka who understands how to win, is already a champion in some levels, and you need her to control the midfield for you. When everything gets a little chaotic, it's your midfielders that bring everything into calmness. They on the defensive end, or if they have to play offense.
Has brought a little bit of a veteran presence there as
Correct.
Harloff. Doing a nice job winding her way into the offensive zone. And now it's Emma Madden. And you got to figure Southside going to try to take a little bit more time on this offensive possession, find a rhythm before going to the cage. Rathjen had it knocked away, so instead, again, just a lot of almost blind aggressiveness.
It is, and they called a charge on her on that, because the defense had position on her, and she was trying to make something out of nothing. And again, they probably would have been better off, as you had said, Gavin, just to breathe. Pull it out. Everybody get yourselves together. We need to score on this possession. We just had a great defensive stop, and so let's just, be a little patient.
Straka, good speed, pushing it up the field. Pass lobbed inside. Cray, nice job deterring the shot. Working with it now is Villari. Villari sets the screen. Couple fakes put on by Mora, and Mora fouled by Conley.
So Mora will have an 8-meter here. Or maybe just a free possession. I don't think it was in the critical scoring area.
Mora, a monster sophomore season. 28 points, 17 goals on the year. And someone who has really stepped up as the season has gone along, off the mark that time.
You just see the kids, as they mature, the freshman and sophomore, as they play. And by the time you get into the playoffs now, they've had, 15, 16 games under their belt, so their nerves are completely gone, other than the first 10 minutes of a playoff game.
Fabiano, who got that initial goal from X, trying to bait Cray. Instead, will reset up top. Plainedge so screen-oriented on offense as Kelly got hit in the face, trying to burrow her way inside.
Well, that should be a yellow card if you think about it. I'm not sure if they're going to give it to her. It might have just been a high check is what they're going to call. But whether it's inadvertent or not, I mean, any check to the face or head should be a yellow card, automatic.
So Kelly goes, working through a double team, and charges. And Kelly, I don't want to say, it's mostly just a product of her being so aggressive, but she loves to draw those free positions. I mean, a lot of her scoring comes in those situations on the year, or rather last game against Southside, she was 3 for 4 on free position.
Yeah, I get that, but on a one-on-one, you always go to the goal. And on a one-on-two, you have to be a little more selective, and one-on-three, never, obviously.
You've never given a girl a green light on a 1-on-3?
Only if we're down by one and we're like in the last 5 seconds of a game. Maybe like Kelly McPartland back in the day, who was probably fastest, smartest player I've ever had.
Maybe Tess Calabria could get there for you guys.
Tess could 100%. Yes.
There you go. Oh, no, now she has it on the record. Avery Testa working around, trying to get it back to Delmond. Delmond, already 1 goal on the day, had it knocked away.
So interesting play right there when you look at it, and all the defenders had to do on that was come hip to hip with each other, and then they would have closed Delmond's gap. Instead, they were a little further apart, and she ends up getting the call.
So Delmond looking for her second goal. Very aggressive, but this time will pull it out.
I feel like both teams kind of mirror each other in the way that they play this game. They each have a couple superstars, and
Rathjen puts on some speed, cranks the shot, and hits the back left corner of the goal.
I don't even think the goalie saw that. I don't even think Cass saw that. I mean, she had so many people in front of her at that point, and you watch the play where Rathjen comes around, and she just, once her hands are free, she's going to let the ball fly. And she's high up. The slide comes now, and I don't even think, again, I don't think that the goalie was able to even see that shot. It was perfectly placed.
And we were on the phone with Robert Devlin this week. He talking about Charlotte Rathjen. He said, she's not as naturally powerful as someone like Ika Bellis, but she does such a good job generating leverage and torque on her shot. And you saw it there, really cranks it back and gets a lot of velocity on that ball.
You do, and it's all about the placement. When you see where the ball was placed right there, I mean, it really was almost an unsavable spot, So in girls lacrosse, a lot of it, everybody likes the power shots. I get it. It's not boys lacrosse, though. You can't shoot it unless you're Charlotte North, 950 miles an hour. But for girls, it's all about the placement.
Rathjen looking to continue her momentum in the draw control circle. Instead, it's Villari. Villari has a lane to the cage, trying to go all the way. Now denied. Oh, what a check. On the other side of his Morgan Harloff. Though Plainedge will keep the ball, trying to tie things up at 3. And this was a big emphasis for Southside, getting off to a better start this time around. They've done that over the game's opening 16 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, they do. They chase all over the field. They put a lot of pressure on, the attackers with the ball. But again, they set up a lot of 1v1 opportunities. So, they really need for their footwork to be on point. Nice play.
Ika Bellis that time, picture-perfect defense on Fabiano.
Correct.
And Cray doing a good job coming out to grab that ball.
Correct. And I like the matchups that we have. I mean, it's, the number 1 player on the number 1 defender and vice versa on the other side of the field.
And now an interception the other way by Kyla Dundon, the top one-on-one defender for Plainedge, though she'll throw it right back to Sierra Giannone. That felt like it could have been a pivotal sequence because Plainedge had numbers if Dundon could have gotten that pass in.
As a coach, what you want to do always is give your players the opportunity to jump a pass if they are confident enough to do it. You never want to be that coach that tells your defenders, sit back, everybody turn and run, and set up because there's, you're giving the offense the advantage at that point.
And how do you strike a balance with your defenders when they intercept a pass in that situation? Do you say push or do you say, we'll get back to it? Ika Bellis! A 1-woman fast break up and down the field and a game-high 2-goal advantage for Southside.
Wow, that was a great shot, too. If you look at the placement that Ika Bellis put that, if you're staring at the cage, it's the upper right-hand corner, opposite stick side of the goalie. I mean, that's really, and again, on this goal, Cass is a great goalie, but she's not the tallest one. So you see where the shot goes all the way up the opposite corner. Almost impossible for her to get that.
How about that little pump from Ika Bellis? She actually left her feet on it. And it's one of the advantages of lacrosse. There's no up and down, so a timeout taken by Plainedge. We will take a break as well. Southside up by 2, spot in the Class C semifinals on the line on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Thank you for joining us back on the Varsity Media Sports Network, where we have this Nassau Class C quarterfinal for you and so many more fantastic matchups tomorrow in Suffolk County. It's Comac at Northport. And then, of course, we have the Catholic League softball finals on May 24th. And then it's probably the biggest day of the year, at least in lacrosse on the Varsity Media Sports Network, the Nassau Class A boys semis and the Nassau Class C girls semis. Tracy and I will have that for you at 4 and 6 p.m. on May 26th. And then, of course, the Catholic League baseball finals, May 30th at 11 a.m. You can check it all out by subscribing to our YouTube channel. You get constant updates so you never miss a game.
So excited to be doing all the big games now, and it's just so fun to, you watch these teams all season long. We talk about them all season long, and then you see them when it's, win and move on and lose and hand in your uniforms, and it's just such a different vibe. It's a different vibe for us, and it's a different vibe for them.
And it's so fun. It's all season. Like, I'm talking to you, Tracy, and asking you, who's the best team? Who's the best players you've seen? And you can give your answers during the regular season. You know them for certain when it comes to postseason play.
Without a doubt. And that's what they live for. You try to keep them healthy. And, again, you might get some pieces back that you didn't have earlier in the season. And as a coach, I know that I never showed a team that I knew I was going to see in the playoffs, my playbook, all of it. If I was going to lock a kid off in the playoffs, I didn't lock them off during the season because I didn't want the coach to already prepare for that. Just, little nuances. I mean, anybody listening is probably like, the coach knew you can do that anyway, but I never thought that way. I don't know why. So I just always kept certain things for the playoffs. I didn't show all my cards during the season.
Draw control pitched up, and it'll lead to some space for Reagan Mora, who will pull it outside. And good bit of defending there from Sierra Giannone, able to dispossess Mora, win the ball. And a little tall on the pass, turned over as Giannone was trying to get a crossfield to Morgan Harloff.
And you see the goalie talking to her, saying, "Hey, look, that's no need. I'm standing right there. Let's make the high percentage pass. Yeah, that was, a good idea to switch fields, but let me be the one to switch fields."
And especially when you have Mackenzie Crabe, she's about as good as anyone in Nassau County at taking the ball out and working almost as an extra defender or almost as an extra midi in terms of clearance.
It reminded me of the UNC game yesterday, right? Taylor Moreno. I mean, just always give Taylor the ball and everybody else get out of the way.
Yeah, Southside has that kind of confidence in her, though Craig gets beat this time around. Lost track of Megan Callow, who puts it in.
And Callow does a nice job here. You see the defender on the crease turns her back to the offense because there is somebody at X. So the defender's going to turn her back, and then you see Callow, as soon as that happens, standing there by herself. So the defender's kind of got jammed up a little bit.
Emma Kelly on that finish,
yeah.
Not Callow.
Oh, okay. So Emma Kelly is smart enough to know when she sees both girls staring at the ball handler, I'm just gonna move into open space. I mean, you can't leave Emma Kelly unguarded. And that's a kid that I'm surprised when they're in the offensive zone, they're not locking her off.
Yeah, the quote from Carly Tustin on Emma Kelly, her field IQ is as good as I've seen. You saw it there. I assume when you put in enough time in lacrosse, it becomes intuitive, just moving into the open space.
And again, there's certain nuances that you're looking for. Whether you see someone, we call it the ponytail or the number or the name on the back of the jersey, at that point you're uncovered. So if the person guarding you see those things, just to go to goal. And it's usually opposite post from where the defender is. Just the little things.
And we saw something similar on that second goal with Fabiano, where she was just so savvy in terms of how she was manipulating the defense and getting to her spot. Now weaving back is Testa. Testa trying to burrow in and hits a bouncer, and we're all tied up at 4.
And right now you see Plainedge just starting to win the draws and taking it right to the hole. And again, we saw Testa do that earlier. Maybe she got a call against her, but that's not going to stop a true attacker. So what you see here is Testa's so she starts on the left side of the hash marks, pulls to her strong side, and then splits the defense.
And what a finish, too.
Nice bounce shot.
Was able to get Cray to just commit that extra step up and then put the ball under her. So just like that, we're all even at 4. And Tracy, we're getting into it in the break. These two teams, sometimes the game is 4-4 and you're like, one team is dominating. They just look very equal and also very similar stylistically.
No doubt. And they both have the same pieces, I feel, as, they have a couple of great players in the midfield, a couple of strong defenders, one or two, stud attackers, that kind of thing. And so it's just a matter of, again, the matchups, the draw control so far. I think Plainedge is doing a great job, and that's what's keeping them in this game, because they've had several fast break opportunities off the draws so far.
There's a great individual effort initially by Kelly, but then Ika Bellis came up with it. Ika Bellis, a one-woman fast break, and she shows off that ability again. How did she fit that shot in?
Well, again, she went to that same spot. If you look at the replay, Ika Bellis is strong and fast and takes a couple of hits and keeps on going, and that's a true defender. So, she beats one defender here. Here comes the second defender. There's a third defender looming, and she goes to that opposite high corner.
Excuse my continued basketball analogies, but it's almost like a Euro step, the way she weaves through traffic, and you'll see her flip her hips, and defenders, even when there's 2 or 3 around her, just not able to stick with her.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people always say, girls lacrosse, it's soccer or field hockey in the air. No, it's basketball. I think that lacrosse correlates more to basketball than any other sport.
And to your point about similarities, Ika Bellis and Kelly, the way, the force that they play with in transition, even when there are multiple defenders in front of them, very similar.
Fun to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a joy. And Ika Bellis, again, doesn't quite have the production that Kelly does this year, but she's proving she's very much up for that matchup. And now another transition opportunity for the Cyclones, deterred by a penalty. And that time around, it was Mia Delmond working her way up the, or excuse me, it was Avery Testa pushing the ball up the field. Testa, quick look, and now Southside will run some offense.
And this is smart here. You want to have a smart possession. Don't throw the ball away. Let's go for some high percentage things.
Circling is Ika Bellis, trying to pivot back. It's a Southside team that doesn't sub a lot, maybe one regular off the bench, so it's important to occasionally slow down, just preserve their wind a little bit. Annie Madden working and scoring. And the Cyclones, after 2 straight goals for Plainedge, answer with 2 of their own.
Well, I like this. So what Madden does here, as she's circling the crease, it looks like she's going to give up the ball, but her teammate clears out and then gives her a one-on-one. And again, as a coach, I'm telling any of my players, when you're in a one-on-one, you're going right to the goal. And that's exactly what Madden does. She uses a defender as a screen and again, puts the low shot. So when you're talking as a coach speak, for me, I always say high to high's the devil, right? Because that's what the goalie can see. Is that high shot always. It's how they warm up. It's how they learned how to play the game. It's pitch and catch. When you drop the ball down low and they have to look and scramble and pick it up, you have a better percentage of scoring. And
you talk about going against tendency. Madden on the year, coming into this game, 10 goals, 19 assists. She's a passer first. That time fakes the pass, goes for the shot. Plainedge knew the scouting report, thought she was going to move it. Instead, Madden fires and scores.
And that's what needs to happen if you're going to win a playoff game. You need those kids that don't normally contribute to maybe pull 1 or 2 out for you, and that the scouting report wasn't really anticipating.
It's been such a fun game so far. Both teams have brought it very evenly matched, and it's sort of like a prize fight with each one landing one punch, then the other punch, then the counter, and we'll see if Plainedge has an answer now. As Fabiano works from out wide. Well defended again by Ika Bellis on the slide. Now bully ball inside. Callow knocked away by Cray. And Callow will have another shot at it.
Right, and that's an interesting call as well. And people can be like, oh, he had the flag up, but she took the shot. But if the official believes that the foul had an issue, made the shot not as effective, they're going to give her the free position anyway.
Callow looking like she's going to go straight to cage. Does so. Gets the shot off and denied. Had just enough defense around her to alter that shot. Cray, a little haphazard on the pass. Scooped up by Jen Vallone of Plainedge. And now it's Kelly. Boy,
as a coach, those are the plays you want back, right? Just be like, You made a great save. Just breathe.
And if you're Southside, you're looking for that little bit of separation, right? You haven't been able to get comfortable with
Correct.
your lead.
And 7-4, 8-4 going into half would be a nice separation, but now you're giving, Plainedge an opportunity to get a little momentum going into halftime.
Fabiano so dangerous for Max. Little dump-off shot off
What
the
a
post.
save. What a save. And Regan Moore did a great job of getting open on that. Beautiful pass, but boy, oh boy. What a great save by the goalie on that.
And an illicit check that time from Kelly on Icabellis. That was best on best.
Cray did a really nice job there, and every once in a while for a goalie, it's just such an uplifting momentum spark for the team when you make a big save like that.
Final 3.5 minutes of this first half. 6-4 lead for Southside. Spot in the quarterfinals. Most likely a date with the Wantagh Warriors on the line. Delmon to the cage. Saved by Cass. And knocked out.
That's another big save. So goalies now are going save for save. And that's again, a huge momentum and good for Cass. She had given up a few goals here and there, stayed on it. No defender was blocking her that time. She had great sight of the ball and was able to make a nice save.
Cass took her time getting the ball out. And the space of Hagmeyer was interfered with that time. Now Hagmeyer nearly turned it over. And she did.
No, he's instructing the Southside girl to go behind. So it's a play on, but she didn't give any space or anything, and that's no advantage. You can't foul and then check somebody's stick like that.
There you go. So Sraka will get another chance at it. Emma Kelly's been a little quiet, just one goal in this half. Obviously a lot of attention being paid her way.
There should be a little quiet. The second half, you'll see everybody, when there's 25 minutes left in your season.
And it's interesting because Southside, throughout the year, is very man-to-man heavy, and that's still the defense. But you could tell all the sliding, all the help is oriented towards Kelly. Anytime she beats her initial defender, second one is right there.
Correct.
There's a big emphasis for Robert Devlin in this game plan. As Kelly loses it that time around, chopping to try and keep it alive, cannot. Annie Madden going the other way.
Great defense right there by Southside.
And Annie Madden did a great job on that clearance. 4 defenders around her, pushed it up the field to Delmon. And Delmon will reset. Final 90 seconds of this half. Southside with a 2-goal lead. You got to figure they want the final shot here.
Without a doubt.
Testa using the screen. Picked up well by Kelly. And Ratchin got it on the reset.
Illegal pick.
And that's a crucial turnover for the Cyclones. Again, worst case scenario, you hold on to that ball, you're up by 2 goals going to the half. Oh, so no, it will be Plainedge ball going the other way.
Correct. And Plainedge has plenty of time here. You have a minute. You don't need to rush anything. You don't need to be crazy. But you do need to set it up and make sure you get a high percentage shot here.
Kelly drew a lot of attention, then gave it up to Callow. Callow zips it inside to Wise. Wise, tic-tac-toe passing, and it's back to 1. Reagan Mora, her second goal.
Can't leave Reagan Moore alone like that on the doorstep, the lefty. She knows what to do with it. She's such a smart lacrosse player. And that's her bread and butter spot right there, weak side post being a lefty. So you see them move the ball, and there she is. The defense steps up, which, again, is when you talk about, doing the basics of lacrosse, you never go from low to high because then you're going to leave somebody open.
And again, it was just great placement on that shot because Cray, she's a presence in that goal.
Correct.
You still have to beat her even when it's one-on-one.
Absolutely. And Mora actually had a lot more time than she thinks. She didn't have to necessarily rush that, but she was rushing it to make sure that Cray didn't go stick to stick.
So 48 seconds to go in the half.
I tell you, when we talk about that, though, let's see what happens here on this draw and how do we end the first half. Because if Plainedge can win the draw and come down and score again, boy, oh boy, that illegal pick could be game-changing.
Chopped forward by Kelly, and good positioning from Villari. Villari, she pushes now. Good position, Mora, stopped by Cray this time. And Cray loses it. Shot put on goal, dribbles past the face of net, recovered by Wise. Still 30 seconds to go. What a sequence.
That was crazy.
What a stop by Cray. Mora had another point-blank look, but this time Cray got the better of her.
She did. She went high, stick to stick. And again, Mora's going to have to, as she matures, she'll understand.
Emma Kelly against the triple team gets it! And we're all tied up at 6. What a turnaround.
Emma Kelly makes a great hand switch on this. So you'll see she coming down on her strong side. She gets overplayed on her right side. So what does she do? She switches to the left. And how much power does she still get on her left? So you see right there, as the defense is trying to get her to go strong side, they're going to double team her there. Instead, she pulls to the weak side and buries that shot.
I think that's the real overlap between her and Ika Bellis. That footwork going horizontally and then the power they each get on their shots.
It's the ability to switch hands and still, not losing anything when you go from right to left or left to right.
But Tracy, how about that turnaround? Southside had the ball, 90 seconds to go in the half. You hold on to it. We said it a million times. Worst case scenario,
Correct.
You're up by 2. Instead, it's a tie game and a chance to change that now for Southside. Final 5 seconds. They're going to have to really push it up the field. Sprinting forward is Ika Bellis, and Ika Bellis will run out of time. So that's how we finish up the first half. I would say, fittingly, a tied game between two very even teams.
Yeah, both teams have had an opportunity to pull away a few goals here and there. Unable to do it, so we come back in the second half like it's 0-0.
Doesn't get better than this. Semi-final spot on the line on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We'll do it all over again after a halftime break. Plainedge 6, Southside 6 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 888-203-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect sets and music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Back to it on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Gavin Shaw, Tracy Weiner here with you, and we're all tied up at 6. Tracy, that crucial sequence to end the half, we were going over it a little bit during the break. Southside up by 2, had the ball, 90 seconds left, give it up, Plainedge rips off 2 quick goals.
Yeah, I mean, and again, you never want to take away the aggressiveness of your team. If you feel like they, have a high percentage play, then as a coach, sometimes you let them freelance. But again, this is the playoffs, and you don't have to win by 10, you just have to win by 1. So when we talk about that, I mean, maybe moving forward, he says to them, let's be a little more patient, let's be a little smarter with the ball, and if at the end of the game we're in the same scenario, we're not giving up the ball, obviously.
And that leads us nicely into the implications of this game. The winner moves on to the Class C semifinals, which incidentally will be on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Wantagh, Locust Valley, that I believe we'll start off at 7 p.m. tonight on the other side of the bracket. Then on the lower side of the bracket, North Shore Seaford, Manhasset, Lynbrook. Tracy, what do you think of that North Shore team? How are they factoring into this race?
The thing about North Shore is they have the Colbert kid who's amazing, both of them actually, and that's tough to defend. And if they go off on the field, that's not going to be easy to do. Meg McCormick does a great job. She's an awesome human. She's a great coach. But you have to have a game plan going into North Shore, and your scouting report needs to be on point. And I do think that they can give Manhasset a little run for their money, assuming both teams get there. But I do think that Manhasset is a little deeper.
And a look at all the sportscasts we have coming up on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Tomorrow, we're back at it. Comac at Northport. And then, of course, the Catholic League softball finals. And then the Nassau Class A boys semis. Nassau Class C girls semis will be there. And then the Catholic League baseball finals on May 30th. As the second half is about to get underway here from Southside. A heck of a game, two very evenly matched teams. Again, the first time they played, it was very nip and tuck until a big penalty against Plainedge allowed Southside to separate a little bit. The Red Devils came into this game certainly believing that if they weren't the better team, they were very much equal to Southside, and that has played out so far.
Absolutely, and again, like you keep saying, I do think that these teams are so evenly matched. I mean, we can't just say that by the score, but it's just a matter of, it could come down to whoever has the last possession of this game.
Southside earning the opening possession of the second half, sent back to Cray. You see the faith in her throwing that ball backwards, and Cray again has stick skills almost as if she were a midfielder.
Makes such a big difference when your goalie can be like an extra defender in terms of stick work. Obviously, she's a defender by nature, but in terms of trust and being able to help on the ride.
Rathjen good look up to Connolly. Southside, their patience on offense fluctuated a lot. They were scoring in settled situations initially, then got a couple of transition goals from Ike Cabela's, but that settled offense slowed down a little as the first half went along.
Well, they're a super aggressive team in general, so it's hard to take that away from them.
As Ike Cabela's puts on a couple of moves, tracked by Kelly. Again, that's that matchup we're looking for, best on best. Haggerty hunting for space, finding a cutter and a goal. Southside responding after the half. Annie Madden put it in.
If I'm Southside, and I was thinking about this when we were in the break, Annie Madden would be a player for me that I would expose, in the second half. I would use her as much as I could because she will draw the third or fourth defender, and I believe that that's a matchup that favors Southside. And you see that play right there. She knew exactly what to do. She scored a few goals this game. So let your star, and I say that in parentheses, in quotes, take over the ball handling and the 1 and 2 defenders, and then let your role players do their job.
And it was exactly what you were saying, right? You see the back of the jersey, you see the ponytail. She went boom straight to the cage.
Correct, 100%.
Defensively, what are the correct fundamentals on playing that where you can see man and ball?
You have to see the man and ball, and you cannot ball watch. So you have to take a look, but you always have to keep your player in your sight line and see if she cuts, because that is your especially if you're playing a man-to-man defense, you cannot lose your girl.
And at this level, you fall asleep for a second, that can be death. That could be the end of your season. Plainedge up the field quick, and Hannah Wise couldn't quite corral that pass, but penalty flag comes out.
Yep, there was a little foul in the play. Reagan got pushed on that when she was going to make the pass.
So it'll be free position for Reagan Mora, already 2 goals on this game. Looking for a hat trick. Mackenzie Cray, though, has been money one-on-one. Instead, Mora will just go to X. Fabiano lofts it back up.
Cray almost picked that off. Did you see it? It hit her stick, and they weren't able to get the rebound for her, but she almost picked that off from behind the cage.
She's looking for Kenzie Murnane and couldn't get it past Cray. We've talked a bit about Robert Devlin, Plainedge, coached by Carly Tustin in her second season. Played at Hicksville in 2008, then played at Temple. I believe a former Yellow Jacket, if my memory serves correct.
She might have played at Temple. She probably played for Bonnie Rosen, who is one of the best coaches in the college game.
There you go. Circling and not finding much that time was Vallone. And now it's Wise. And Fabiano playing that point guard quarterback spot, looking for her own, putting on a dodge and hitting a winding shot. Perfect placement from Julia Fabiano to tie this game up at 7.
These girls are going goal for goal. And if you've noticed, though, the first 2 offensive possessions have been a little more patient. It's not just a run and gun. It's set it up and let's see what we have, and then we're in the one-on-one. And both of their scouting reports must be from X, because both teams have really run their offense from X. Crease rolled on the one-on-one. They clear it out because they see in the notes that there is no second slide. Fabiano makes just a great play there, but you see when she does her crease roll, she gives herself some space from the defender so that her hands are always free.
And how about the bend on that shot? It almost pivoted back into goal.
A lot of power on that, too.
Again, Fabiano brings in that basketball mentality, looks for one-on-one matchups, and then attacks them. Kelly sends it high. Ball skimmed up. And run down. Well done for Plainedge.
The thing that I love about basketball players, how it translates to lacrosse, is they know how to take a hit and keep on going.
You saw from Fabiano that time. And Kelly brings the same mentality, running through 2, 3, 4 white jerseys and still getting her shot off. Fabiano in the same spot. Carly Tunston has so much confidence in Fabiano's decision-making. Fabiano, that inside roll, and now deterred with the triple team.
You know what? That was really a good check until she did not retract on it. So you can't come down almost like how do you say, like Paul Bunyan, right? Like you're just swinging an axe, and you cannot bring the stick back up. There has to be the same retraction as you do on the actual check.
Fabiano winding up, will fire wide of the cage. Backed up by Reagan Mora.
I saw exactly where she was going on that, and she just missed that upper corner.
She'll get another shot at it. Southside has led by 2. Plainedge is not led by more than 1. Pass fired to Kelly, and Kelly will reset.
Yeah, Kelly just missed that. Hit her stick. She was open for that, and they're playing 2-man right now. Illegal. They're going to get it for an illegal pick, and it's going the other way. So in girls lacrosse, you cannot have a blindside pick, and you cannot initiate that contact. So I think there was both issues on that one.
Fabiano and Kelly, they like going to that little wheel
2-man,
action.
right? Yeah, a little 2-man. We got 52,
other.
right? Everybody likes that play. Everybody else clear out and let the 2 of us do our thing.
Morgan Harloff works it to Delmon. Again, Delmon's older sister Ella, a star on this team a year ago, also already at Quinnipiac. Mia will join her there a year from now. Faking the pass. Now using a screen. Backing off. Now firing. Nothing doing. Avery Testa able to grab it.
There's a tough angle on that. You can. A lot of people can score goal line extended, but it is just a tough angle.
Annie Madden well guarded. Now Ratchin, who had that rip in the first half. Spinning, Ika Bellis, bouncer and in! Ika Bellis has a wide bag.
You see when Ika Bellis goes in, the defender makes the mistake of going for the stick check. And as soon as Ika Bellis pulls her stick, and you'll see right there, they went for the stick check, right, and she was able to, right there, went over the top. She was able to beat her defender, and then it's just money in the bank.
And then when she's bending that corner, no one's been able to keep up with her.
No, because you can't swing your stick, you got to move your feet. And if she sees the defensive mismatch on that, where Kelly's not on her at that point, she her footwork is so good, Ika Bellis, that she knows that she can out finesse her defender.
And this has been quite a battle on draw control, pretty much dead even all game between Rathjen and Kelly, and it gives you an idea of how much better Rathjen has gotten over the course of the year. Again, she's just 27% on the season, but has been trending upwards, though Kelly able to win that one.
It just like you win, I win, you win, I win. It just keeps going back and forth.
You wonder if Icabellis, in these games closing minutes, if she gets a chance there again. Icabellis, a ridiculous 40 of 42 on draw controls this year.
Well, I'm telling you, if I'm coaching this game and it's a tie game with like 4 minutes to go, I'm holding it to the last shot.
Kelly going to work, draws the slide. Ratchin on her. And Kelly will maybe go back to that two-man game with Fabiano.
Yeah, it seems to be working, but if, and again, now you see the third defender drop in. So now it's 2v3.
And Fabiano didn't seem to know where she was going with that ball, but Plainedge will get bailed out by a penalty.
Yeah, 3 seconds. I mean, it's not going to be a good spot, but they get to keep possession.
And maybe that extra defender kind of just changed the processing a little bit for Fabiano.
Yeah, well, and of course, because now it's not a 1v1.
Fabiano gets rid of the ball quickly this time around. So reset up top to Hagmeyer. Hagmeyer going against Icabellis. Will throw it back. Centered Kelly. That's a bit of room for her. Moves it along. And now it'll be a good look at the cage for Callow.
And that was a smart move by Kelly. So Mora goes in, looks for shooting space, doesn't get it, drops it off to Kelly. And then Kelly reverses fields, and that's where the slide comes in for shooting space.
Callow, quick shot and a goal, and we're all tied up at 8.
That was really a team goal right there when you think about the sequence of that play. So Mora tries to go in, does not draw the shooting space, dumps it off to Kelly. Kelly dumps it off. And then you watch right here just the placement of the shot. Callow goes, it almost looks like 5-hole on that.
And Callow, this is only her second year playing offense. She was a defender under Coach Shusko, an all-county defender, and they said, hey, let's move her up, and she's done great, 38 points, or 39 points now, her 30th goal on the year right there.
I don't have to ask Coach Shusko, did you know that, you had her on low defense and she's really an attacker? Kristen.
Or to clarify, Callow playing midi now, but it's certainly an attacker mentality.
I'll have to ask her, did you know that she could shoot and score, Kristen?
Well, she knows now. Presumably watching this game, and we appreciate everyone tuning in. It's a good one, 8-8, 17 minutes, 23 seconds ago. And the right to, most likely, we should say, play Wantagh, which is not the best gift, but a semifinal berth as a player is down injured, so we will step aside on the Varsity Media Sports Network and be back in just a sec.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
And it was Mia Delmon, the injured Cyclone, down on the field for about 2 minutes, has dealt with some concussion issues, hand on her forehead, and you hate to see that because Delmon, the senior, fought all the way back to play in this game, has been playing some of her best lacrosse, and now out.
Yeah, well, I mean, she seems, thank goodness she seems okay, walked off on her own power. And sometimes, when you come back from something like that, it's you get nervous, too, every time you get hit or, if something happens. So let's just, keep our thoughts and hope that she can put her helmet back on and come back out and play.
So it'll be Plainedge ball on the reset, 8-8 game.
That's a big loss for Southside. Never mind, injury aside, I mean, she's a pivotal part of their offense.
And especially a team that, again, does not rotate a lot on attack. The next player up would be Demerly Hamill. And we'll see what she can do on that side of the ball right now. Southside trying to defend that Fabiano-Kelly combination. Fabiano draws the double and a golden opportunity for Hannah Wise, but unable to handle it. And now one back on the ride by Callow.
There was a foul to get that ball, so Southside's going to get it back.
Temporarily. Very temporarily one back by Callow.
And that's a play that, when you need that kid that right? You're the third or fourth option on the offense. She buries that shot. That's something that you just can't plan for as a coach.
Harloff pushes it up to Connolly. Connolly had open field in front of her. Oh, good look, but unable to handle it. Cutting to the cage. I believe that was Hamill fresh into the game.
That's a nice play, though. Almost connected for an easy goal.
And that's tough coming right off the bench and being put in that position right away for Hamill.
Correct.
Two defenders staring down Icabellis at all times. Icabellis trying to get free, tracked well by Emma Kelly.
Well, and they double her the minute that she goes to goal. She's one of those ones that draws an automatic double.
Southside, again, has found their rhythm offensively as the year has gone along. There was not a lot of coordination earlier in the season. Now they're all playing together. Found a better pace in that final regular season win over Sacred Heart. Icabellis again trying to get free. Plainedge sending multiple defenders, 4 in her direction, still almost finished it.
Almost, and she had the flag on that, took a high-quality shot, but hit the pipe.
And a good job from the Cyclones on that recovery. Annie Madden. That's a tough look. Trying to fit it between multiple defenders to Testa, who will draw the foul.
That was a tough play, and I give Testa credit on that because she really battled through both of the defenders and almost made a play on that.
So it'll be reset up top with Hamill.
Very patient offensive set this time, though, for Southside. I like it.
We saw it a little early in the game, not so much recently, as Testa tried to go across her body. Scooped up by Madden.
It was a nice save by Cass on that. You can see her flexing her foot a little bit, so you know exactly where that ball hit her. Goalie life.
It's a painful job.
It is.
Haggerty deterred. As this possession continues to drive on, and
Obstruction of shooting space on that.
Icabellis will be the one in free position. One-on-one with Cass.
Well, that's a tough one to give a one-on-one for.
Golden opportunity for Icabellis. Straight to the cage. Tries to dunk it home. Icabellis gets the stop. But was she pushed from behind?
Absolutely. She's going to get another shot at this. She's going to get a better angle, a better spot this time. You see right here when she went in and she just got shoved from the back.
Icabellis puts it home and the lead back within the arms of the Cyclones.
Yeah, you can't give Icabellis 2 8-meters like that. She's going to cash in on one of them. If I'm her, I want the ball the whole time for the last 14 minutes, 13 minutes here. Just give me the ball. Everybody get out of my way.
Icabellis heading to play her college lacrosse at Cornell a year from now. And again, we noted Emma Kelly, at least statistically, the bigger name coming to this game, but Icabellis has matched her play for play.
Absolutely. And I just like her patience, her poise, her power, all of it. You know, she's just playing a really smart game today.
So a new option in the circle for Southside, it's Morgan Harloff, who will take the draw control.
Boy, Harloff does a nice job on that one, huh? Made it look easy.
Big win for the sophomore defender. And another opportunity for your Southside to reestablish that 2-goal lead that was lost in the closing 84 seconds of that first half.
Right, and you can run a minute or two off the clock. There's nothing wrong with it. Wait for the perfect shot, or if the perfect shot presents itself, you take it faster, but you're in no rush.
Testa, in a bit of a rush, draws the foul.
And she'll get a good hash on this as well.
And that's back-to-back. We've seen Testa sort of lay her body on the line, right? Work through a maze of sticks.
That's what Avery's going to do. It's not an issue at all.
A natural-born goal scorer. Again, 33 points, 32 of them coming via goals. Testa straight to the cage, and will have another opportunity. She is single-minded, and it's paid off for her in her sophomore season.
And you see, though, her first step is so quick that the defenders are on her back almost instantaneously. And in lacrosse, if a defender's on your back, 99.9% of the time you're going to get the call.
Testa had her shot deflected that time around. Leah Villari able to get a stick on it. It'll be interesting to see if we get some rain as the sky has turned a bit gray here at Southside High School.
It has.
Rain was in the forecast, but most likely for a little after this game wraps up.
Correct.
So that could maybe be a factor as this game goes on. Ratchin pushed out. Kelly harassing her. Kelly!
Can't come over the top of her head to make the check. She just should have waited for Ratchin to bring the stick back, and she could have got the back check instead of going over the top of her head. But again, a game like this where possession is monumental, I wish we had the college rules of a shot clock, because we are truly not training these girls to be ready for the next level. If they can run on 4, 5, 6 minutes, of a clock, they're not going to be able to do that moving forward.
And just as a consumer product, you're missing on opportunities for players like Ika Bellis and Kelly where they have to go.
Correct.
And they have to attack. Hamill knocked away. Good job to recover. Ika Bellis surveying, and now it's Haggerty. Haggerty looks for a cutter. Cut off by Dundon. Resetting his Rathjen. Looking for the call from the sideline.
She's looking to spread out the defense right here, and you'll see what they're doing now. So now they're playing a wide set where they spread the defense out and make the slides much harder.
And presumably you're doing that to set up one of your best, whether it's Ika Bellis or Rathjen, for a one-on-one opportunity.
Agreed. Or Testa. One of the three, I would think.
Now it's Madden, who scored a couple of goals late. Good dump off inside. Haggerty deterred.
Smart play by Haggerty, though.
Zips it back in. Testa on the shot. Nearly got it to go. Cass was just able to get a foot on it.
Cass has made 2 great saves in the last 5 minutes, both using her feet, and has kept this game where it is right now, obviously.
That's actually been a big emphasis for Ryan Cass, her footwork and that ability to stay on the post just a little bit longer, and has been a big part of her improvement as this year has gone on. Callow in transition up the field. Cray, a big-time stop. Point-blank range was Reagan Mora. That has been a battle all afternoon, and Cray wins round 3.
It has, and again, Reagan Mora, stick fake high, go low. She has stuffed her 3 times, gone stick to stick, and Reagan has a lot more time than you think on that crease. There were no defenders near her, and then an automatic turnover here by Southside by running or stepping on the out-of-bounds line.
So solid pressure applied by the Red Devils on the ride, and they'll get it back. Man, oh man, that was a golden opportunity for Hagmeyer, though.
Sure was. But that's a big turnover right here. You gain possession, your goalie makes a huge save, and you're within about, 8.5 minutes left in this game. You could have run off another 4 or 5 minutes,
Fabiano taking her time, surveying the defense, those point guard instincts kicking in, and has a girl, and Mora off the mark on the shot. It's a good ducking from Moore.
Yeah, I mean, she's had the ball on her stick a lot today. She's always open. She knows exactly where to go all the time to find that open space.
Harloff, a whole lot of speed.
7.5 minutes to go. Put your coaching hat on, Gavin. What do you do here?
I'm holding the ball a little bit. I've learned that. I wouldn't at the beginning of the year. I wouldn't have known that, but now I got it down.
Yeah, you're gonna spread it out wide. Don't clog up the middle.
Oh, instead they get aggressive. Ikebella's ducking in, trying to force feed her the ball. And on the run, it's Madden straight to the cage off the mark. Madden thought about taking that matchup, and now Southside will follow our collective advice. A combined 30-plus years of coaching in this booth between me and Tracy.
Perhaps.
Leans a little more towards one of us than the other. We don't have to clarify further than that. Ratchin finding a lane and knocked away by Cass, who's been money.
3 great saves by Cass so far. Really keeping Plainedge in this game.
She's heated up in the second half.
If they're not coming out to pressure you, why go to goal, right? You're up by 1, 6 minutes to go. You just throw the ball around, force them out, so then you have, those difficult slides.
Lori harangued that time by Valone. So the senior will get the opportunity to just reset things.
Yeah, I'd pull everybody out by the 25-yard line. Let's go. And then it's really difficult, and then you can get it into those players that are super aggressive going to cage and give them a better opportunity on the 1v1s. Oh, can't swing like that.
So free position for Haggerty. Southside now taking their time a little bit.
As they should. What do you got, 5 minutes left in this game?
As every coach you mentioned to will tell you, they don't like the rule of no shot clock. They will take advantage of it as long as
they
it
have
exists.
to. You got to play by the rules, right? I mean, that's why everybody's using the goalie crease to their advantage. All of it.
And now a timeout taken by Southside. We will step aside as well in the Varsity Media Sports Network. The Cyclones lead it by 1 spot in the semifinals in Class C on the line.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect sets and music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
And look inside Robert Devlin's huddle. In his 6th year coaching, Southside has been at the school, though, for right around 25 and has this Cyclones program peaking, reaching their first county championship a year ago. And if you want to continue seeing that pursuit, you can check it out on the Varsity Media Sports Network as we take a look at our upcoming sportscast. One correction on here, Comac and Northport tomorrow at 12. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to wait till 4. It's at 12, high noon. We'll see a matchup of 2 of the best in Suffolk. Then, of course, the Catholic softball finals at 5 p.m. on May 24th. And the Nassau Class A boys semis, the Nassau Class C girls semis both on May 26th. So you can flip back and forth between those two, though, if you want more of me and Tracy. You got to keep it on the girls' side. You want to see the winner of this game, you got to keep it on the girls' side. And then, of course, the Catholic League Baseball Finals, May 30th at 11 a.m.
We talked about this earlier, that we thought it would come down to the last possession, right, to see who's going to win this game. And right about now, you crawl into the huddle. So you're in Southside huddle, and they're saying, pull it out, be patient, make them come after you. Stay away from the 30-yard line, but keep it from the 28, and a little wide. And if you're on Plainedge, 5 minutes, you don't have to be super aggressive, but you do want to put a little pressure on it. And then I would look, if I was the Plainedge coach, to jump the adjacent pass. So, you tell your girls to be prepared for that. If we pressure the ball, they're going to look to probably make the safe adjacent. If you're feeling aggressive, get your stick in there, go jump that pass.
And it's that emphasis, again, on watching man and ball. Because so often in these situations, you see offenses really stretch a defense to their breaking point, and then those free cutters come over the middle, and it's just easy money.
So we're going to see what they're running here. Oh, it's good to see our young lady that got hurt before.
Mia Delmont.
Yes, back in the game.
Again, just such a frustrating season for her. This was supposed to be her year to be the star, taking over for her older sister. Still has an opportunity to do so, and does. Mia Delmont on cue, right off the bench and in. Southside up by 2.
And again, what a great call on the play there. So you see everybody moves up top. You have everybody out of the critical scoring area. You create a one-on-one for Delmont. There's not another defender. Why this defender goes up top and leaves all that space, and nobody, again, everybody's back is to the ball. So Delmont sees that, and she's like, if you're going to give me that, I'm going to go for it.
And Delmont, following your edict, goes low on the shot.
Correct.
And beats Cass, who again, Cass has been spectacular this second half. So a game-defining draw control here, as Plainedge desperately needs the ball, now down by 2.
And good for Delmont, good for her.
What a moment.
Yeah, you like to see that. A kid who was hyped up for the season and then has an injury, doesn't get back in until a couple of games ago. Gave herself a little scare before, but finds it within, not just to come back on the field, but to want the ball.
And how about that run in by Callow? Again, Plainedge needed it to keep their season alive, to win that ball. Callow able to do so.
And if you're Plainedge right here, what you don't want to do is force it. You still have 4.5 minutes. We all know that in Girls Lacrosse, you can score a multiple amount of goals in 4.5 minutes.
It's the great equalizer. You score, you still get a chance to get it right back. Fabiano working behind the cage. Tried to dump it off in front, but again, it's Cray with that big stick, able to deflect it and steal it.
Yep, and if I'm Fabiano, I'm thinking to myself, I should have put that in my left hand. With the right hand, Cray knew that she didn't have much of an angle when she left it in her right hand.
Sierra Giannone also a part of that deflection.
So now you're Southside. You really control the entire end of this game, obviously. But with 3:46 and Plainedge is down by 2, they're really going to have to be super aggressive now on defense.
Annie Madden has it wide, and Tracy, as a coach, sees some junk defenses to throw out, specifically in this situation where you maybe throw 2 at the ball.
Yeah, well, I mean, what you do here as a coach, you just keep it, let everybody cut.
And instead, easy the other way. Charlotte Ratchin ducking in front of the cage, wide open, and it's the largest lead of the game for Southside.
And that's what you do. So you're cutting with the ball. You're taking. You're not going to the cage where the defense then has to sink. What you're doing is you're just handling the ball. So you ask for a double team. So right here, they need to have a double to get the ball back because she's not going anywhere near the cage, and it leaves a player wide open.
Ratchin, the freshman, able to take advantage. The moment not too big for her. Very calm on the shot. And now Plainedge is in some trouble.
There's also 2 schools of thought on that, right? I mean, obviously you want to go up by 3 goals with 3 minutes. Chances are you're in good shape. But you also give now Plainedge an opportunity, if they win the draw, to possibly go to goal. So you always go back and forth with it as a coach. What's the best way to go about it? Not give up possession and just run out the clock, or, score that easy goal and then go back to the draw.
Emma Kelly gets the win. Now Plainedge has to operate with some urgency.
Correct.
It's that weird thing. By scoring, you kind of take control out of your hands. Callow weaving through multiple defenders. A good job to get to the cage, and she'll draw a flag for her efforts.
And she will. And they better, they need to hurry up on this because the clock is still running. It only stops in the 2 minutes. And here comes the rain.
Callow straight in, ducks and misses, but pushed. Cray, again, an intimidating presence on those free positions. She's not afraid to take a couple steps out of the net.
No, she's done a nice job in the second half. Only giving up 2 goals.
Callow straight in, bouncer off the mark. Fabiano there to recover. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. The rain is picking up. A bad omen perhaps for Plainedge. Kelly, quick feet. And she'll have free position.
Yep, obstructed shooting space. And here now at the 2-minute mark, the clock should stop.
2 minutes to play. 2 minutes to play.
It keeps on ticking, though. Official time kept on the field. Kelly straight in. Cray denies her. Oh, wow. What a big-time stop by Mackenzie Cray.
And that save should basically seal the deal. Mackenzie Cray has been amazing in the second half.
Cass had previously matched her stop for stop. And then that isolation goal by Mia Delmond broke this one open. Testa double teamed. Wide open net. Testa falls and draws a whistle. So what's been the difference for Southside in the second half?
I think ball control, less turnovers. You know, they tightened it up a little bit and didn't turn the ball over as much, and then really just took advantage of their one-on-one opportunities. Because Cass, they actually had a lot of shots in the second half. Cass had some really big saves.
So Testa can either just about automatically put this ball in or pull it out and just try and run off the clock. Instead, she'll take the easy goal. Southside up by 4, and the final score will not be indicative of what was an extremely equal game between two very even teams.
No question about it, and really what it came down to was, and you know, I don't blame Testa here for taking this goal. The cage is wide open. 4 goals in 1 minute is almost, you know, an impossibility. So I just think that at this point, when you watch this game, it was just down by 1. Southside had the possession. When they bury that shot and go up by 2, now you have to just change your whole mindset. It's like in ice hockey when you pull the goalie. You know, you don't really realize that you see a team the next morning, maybe they won, 4-2, and you're like, oh boy, they really took it to them. Nah, it was, they just had the open net.
So presumably our semifinal matchup, if the seedings hold up, will be Southside against Wantagh. The story of Southside's season is Plainedge tries to push for 1 more goal, likely only for cosmetic purposes at this point. The story of Southside's season has been losing close games against high-level competition. It was a 2-goal game against Wantagh the first time around. They played North Shore, they played Garden City, they played Cold Spring Harbor, all within 3 goals. Do you give the Cyclones a chance in that matchup?
Against Manhasset?
No, against Wantagh.
Against Wantagh. That's a tough one. Obviously, this is why we play the games, but they're going to have to minimize Wantagh's weapons.
As Emma Kelly goes straight in and adds what is likely the final goal of we should note before this game ends, a spectacular career for the Plainedge Red Devils.
Yeah, Emma Kelly, this just shows you the kind of ability that she has when she comes in here. She's surrounded by white shirts, no matter at all. And again, she dips low, goes opposite, avoids the check. It's just a quality play right there. But when we talk about Wantagh and you talk about their big 3, they are, they're high level athletes again, and they're just, they're tough to handle for anybody, so when you look at how close this game was, and really, Emma Kelly was who they had to watch out for on Plainedge. Now they're going to have their hands full with 3.
Yeah, we talked about it when they played St. Anthony's. You can question Wantagh's depth compared to a Manhasset or a St. Anthony's, though they beat Manhasset this season. Their top 3 as good or better than anyone on Long Island, so will be a heck of a challenge, assuming Wantagh beats Locust Valley. That game, I believe, starts at 7 p.m. tonight, so we'll have to check the scoreboards for that. But right now, that would presumably be the matchup. Now Southside will run out the final 13 seconds. And for a program that reached their first ever county championship game a year ago, they just continue to build, continue to get better and better, and they move on for the second straight years to the Class C semifinal in Nassau County.
You know, Southside really in the second half, I feel like they minimized their mistakes, they minimized their turnovers, and just took advantage of every opportunity. And I will say this about Plainedge, right down to the last 5 minutes, they were right there, right where they needed to be. And you know, that's all you can ask for when you're in the playoffs, is to be competitive right to the very end. Both teams played really, really well today. I thought they both played a better second half than the first half, got those nerves out, right? But in the end, Southside pulled it out.
And you give Plainedge all the credit in the world, again, choosing to move up to Conference 1 this year. Their record was not what it would normally be. Because of that, they finished the season 5-9. Not indicative of a team that was very good and had a lot of high-level talent, but it's Southside led by Emily Icabellis and, of course, Mackenzie Cray in goal. Moving on. So for Tracy Weiner and our entire team here at Varsity Media, I am Gavin Shaw, signing off on the Varsity Media Sports Network.